Would say the Wood may not be fine. They are trying. They're in the very rugged Central Division, 2 and 3, and they cannot afford to lose any ground in this division.
That's a very good point. Best division in the league. All 4 teams in the top 8.
In the Central.
And would be in the playoffs. That's the first time I've ever seen that in the FLF.
I mean, what?
You're right. A pivotal game for the Wood too in that regard. Division play. If you fall out of a division race early, it's tough.
Projections are at 10 points. Fire Spitting Jimmy's early projections 132 to 122. We'll see how that changes as the week goes on. The Rollers at 4-1 taking on the 0-5 Redonkulous. Again, should be a blowout, but the projections, early projections are close. 3 points, 130, 133.
Again, Redonkulous favored by projection, but what do projections mean? If you're leaving Plob week to week, let's see if Redonkulous makes the right moves this week, which I think they will. They'll win their first game. The Rollers will lose their second in a row, and I don't think it'll be close. I think the Redonkulous gets into the 160s. I'm calling 162, 131.
For Redonkulous?
For Redonkulous. I'm going with him again. I'm giving him another chance. Hopefully the Plob is not more an issue going forward.
This game is my upset special of the week. I think that the Rollers, the Rollers will roll over Redonkulous, and they'll probably take some of Redonkulous's Plob with them on their, whatever they're rolling on, because Redonkulous, until he starts winning, he's going to keep on losing. The Rollers, I look at last week, they were my number 1 team. The week before, this is still a solid squad. I'd like a little more explosion, but, it all comes down to matchups. He's picking the right matchups.
Well, it's a question of who's going to plop down the shitter.
Good one. Mason Key Colby versus the Goods. This is an interleague matchup right here, or?
No, this is an East-West.
East-West.
Somebody's flying over something to get there. These 2 teams have no history. They don't know who each other are, really. I think it's kind of an underwhelming matchup. Mason Key Colby's been rolling everybody, and I don't see why they won't roll again.
132 to 97. The Goods haven't said everything, but all aspects are that this is just going to be not one to watch. But we've been surprised before. Last but not least, the Boone Humper against the King. The Boone Humper projecting 110, the King 115.
I guess loser has to clean the bowl rim.
Yeah.
It's not a good, pretty matchup. I think you got to go with the King again. The Boone Humper we don't know who's going to be on the field because it's always changing.
Really?
I've heard if quarterbacks might be moved, and I think it's a fire sale gone wrong. I think the King probably win by 25 points.
This is interesting. I actually spoke with the management of the Boone Humpers, and he feels very strongly that this is the game that's going to catapult his horses into the lead. There will be no PLOB, no Plob, no nothing. He is going to do a great job, and I'm excited to see how that team performs next week going up against the King. And that's all I have to say about that. It's really not an exciting matchup, but the loser of this team is unhappy next week.
Well, I think I don't think Plob will be a problem with this Boone Humper team. I don't think there'll be enough points to go around in the starting roster, let alone the bench.
That's good.
I don't see anybody scoring on that team other than maybe a running back.
Well, name me one player on the King that really you say, oh wow, the King at least has that.
Well, I don't. I think the King will win 103 to 93 in what will be one of the stinkier games of the year.
But now that we've said it, that means it's probably going to be, the most exciting, highest scoring game ever.
And all of my picks will go the other way. So, congratulations to Dr. Dick.
All right, so that's about it. But we always have our end of the session lightning round, and this is where we just pop out a quick question about the Fantasy League Fantasco. What are the trends that we're seeing? What's going on here? Waiver wire talk. Like who's jumping out at you as like, hey, this guy's doing something. to make it happen.
Well, I think I
Keeping on
talked
top of
about
the game,
it
yeah.
earlier that Lunches for Wimps finally showed up on the waiver wire and got an acclaim prior to Wednesday morning when everybody became a free agent again. That was the team that I took notice on, but I thought the whole waiver wire just blew up this morning. I think every
Explosive
waiver priority was utilized
How many
in order.
12 to 15 picks?
And yeah, plenty of picks out there. And it was a big week. I think a lot of new names came to light. Some big performances last week, and people are trying.
Interesting. Real quick, down the road, what kind of trends do you think we'll see? How people are picking? Is it going to be more get the first running back that comes available? Or
Well, I think you're always reaching for a running back. They're just in such short supply. If you can manage to get one that's getting the bulk of the carries, you're way ahead of the game. I think Clay, the manager of Mason Keat Colby, has realized that.
You never fake
And
safer
once again,
things here.
They're coming for your running back. But yeah, I think you're always fishing for a running back out there. There's going to be wide receivers, and they're going to be hit or miss. I mean, but running backs, you're not guaranteed touches if you're not in that top 15.
Interesting. Well, that wraps up another week, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thanks, Bud.
Thanks, Bud.
It was another
Fantastic.
fantastic time, and we'll see you out in fantasy land.
We certainly will. We're gonna, try to get them out a little sooner. All right, take care.